Paul's letter to Philemon, written during Paul's many imprisonments. I short this letter in the New Testament, but don't let its size trick you. Actually, one of the most explosive things that Paul ever wrote. It's a backstory I can piece together from the details within the letters. Philemon was a well-to-do citizen, Colossae, and likely met Paul during his mission in Ephesus, became a follower of Jesus. Later, a Paul co-worker in Ephesus started Jesus community. Philemon became leader of church in his house. Philemon also Pontius in the Roman world owned slaves, one of whose name was Onesimus. At some point, these two had serious conflicts. One was wrong Philemon or some way. Many as theft, or maybe cheated him. We exactly know. Afterwards, Onesimus ran away. Eventually, Onesimus came to Paul in the prison, like to prepare for help. In the process, he became a follower of Jesus and then devoted assistant of Paul. Paul finds himself in a very difficult, delicate situation, writes the letter. He's going to ask Philemon not to forgive Onesimus and freezing him back. He embraced his brother Messiah and no longer a slave. Here's how he does it. Opens up prayer, right? Praising Philemon about thanking God for love, faithfulness, shown to Jesus to his people, and then pays the way of request with these lines. I pray that the mentorship that springs from your faith, if I could lead you to recognize all the good things that work as leading to the Messiah. A key word is partnership, or in Greek, koinonia, and sharing, mutual precipitation. Two people receive something together, sharing and becoming partners. Paul says faithful to Jesus means recognizing all the followers are equal partners who share together the gift of God's love and grace. Paul's experience at Kenyans among koinonia followers is not just an ideal who you think about, something you do in relationship which moves Paul into his request. He finally brings Onesimus. He says he becomes Paul's child in prison, meaning Paul led Onesimus to dedicate his life to Jesus. So Paul and Onesimus are now family members in Messiah. He's been serving Paul faithfully in prison, even though Paul wants to keep him around. And as a result, conflict and feelings has become recognized, saying that they're followers of Jesus, as Paul moves into his full request. As receiver and his back, no longer slave, as more than a slave, as a devout brother in the Lord. As a really old, tall lord, under other law, but he has other legal rights to have his punishment or put in prison. Paul's not only asking him to forgive Onesimus, but come back as former slave and to colleague, as also equal as a family member. And this is why more than kindness is unheard of. Every day and then treating him like a family member. Also, this is that a quote of the Roman social order. Why should Philemon do such a thing? Here Paul pulls a brilliant move and calls a key word for an opening prayer. He says, if you're truly a partner with me, the Greek word koinonias again. Welcome innocence as if you were me. If wrongly you owes you anything, charges you to me, I will repay it. In request, we see here Paul's gospel message being acted out. First of all, it's all about reconciliation. It's like he told Corinthians. It was like God recognizing the world to himself, not counting people's sins against them. In this situation, Paul is putting himself in the first place of Jesus. He absorbed the consequences of enemy or wrongdoing. He will pay the cost so that he can be recognized as Philemon. Paul's message was about more than a legal transaction. It was about koinonia. Onesimus and Paul are equals before God. They all share the same need for forgiveness on ground level before the cross, which means Philemon and Onesimus can no longer relate to each other as masters and slaves. They are family members. They're brothers in the Messiah. As Paul told Philemon, the whole church of Colossus, and godly family are not Greek or not Jewish or circumcision, uncircumcised, or foreigners, uncivilized, or slave or free. But the Messiah is all, and is all to people. Paul closes the letter stating his confidence that he will do even more than Paul's request. Ask him to prepare a guest room because he wants to visit as soon as he gets out of prison. As a final greeting, Paul ends the letter. Paul's letter, the Philippians, are powerful for many reasons. The letter where Paul not specifically mentioned Jesus' death or resurrection. This is not an oversight. Doesn't need to explain the cross with words because he's demonstrating this through his actions. Paul's embodying here the meaning of the cross. He's made himself the place for to illuminate, finish, and recognize to God, not them to each other. This letter shows us the implications of good news about Jesus, extremely personal and never private. The fact of Philemon and Ezra are not brothers in the Messiah makes the master-slave relationship totally irrelevant. The fact of Jesus' people is only a place for all equals, recipients of God's grace. A new kind of society or new humanity is called the letter of Colossians. Our people of social status, not defined by race or gender or social, economic class. Messiah, simply new humans who are equal partners who share together God's feelings, mercy through Jesus. That's what Paul's letter to Philemon is all about.